So, how would you say over the years, you know, UK and Australia, that the hip hop scene has developed and changed since, you know, from back in '98? Like, you know, 10 years, like a decade, really. Like, you know, you've been in a decade
it's
now.
really hard to put it all into words in a sense, like, because I find that it's changed in a lot of different ways. But
yeah,
like basically, I feel like, you know. Like, and it's weird because it doesn't feel like it was 10 years ago. It still feels like it's like only 4 or 5 years ago, you know what I mean? Because a lot goes on in between that time. But like, it feels like now, you know, there's no, before there used to be like a physical outlet. There used to be somewhere where we'd all go. You could go there and guarantee you'll bump into somebody. Yeah. Like you'll see, you know, go to either Deal Wheel Records, Mr. Bongo, even go to Dark and Cold, or you know, them days when there was certain stores that were just there, and it was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go there. I ain't got shit to do, so let me go down West End. I'll go hang outside Deal Wheel and see what's going on. I might meet a producer, I might meet a DJ, you might end up going to the studio from there, or you know, end up in a cypher or whatever it was. And that was because there were records there for people to buy. Like there was like a, you know, a kind of physical outlet where people would go in and check out what they wanted, you know, if they want to buy a new album or a new CD, new DVD or whatever it was, related to hip hop. But now, all of that's gone. Now, all of that is like, kind of, it's moved over to the digital world, where, but because the digital world is so big, even though it's all in one place, like everyone's like, you know, everything's in one place. It's so big, it's so vast that not everybody knows where they should be going to. Where you know, like now, where's this virtual world where we can go and you might bump into so and so, and it's not the same thing. Not everybody from that era is like computer savvy. They're not like bang on, you know. People still getting used to
it's the truth. It's the truth.
You know what I mean? But it's that kind of thing where a lot of people, and it's change. It's a big change in a way, as little as it seems, just because it's like, oh, it's a computer. It's a big change because you're changing the way you do things. Like you know, like now. People are getting used to the fact that I can record my vocals and email them to see, so he could put them that wherever, you know.
So you could hook up with someone without even meeting them.
Yeah,
you know, I know there's people, you know,
exactly.
They're emailing across the Atlantic kind of thing, you know, or emailing across the Mediterranean, whatever. But you know, it's guys I've never even spoken to.
Never spoken
like,
to.
You know, wouldn't know them if they met them in a room.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Still they put a whole track together.
Yeah, and it's so you know, it's a whole different world from what it used to be. But I mean, I think that because. It's partly because of the change into being more of a digital thing. Like, don't get it twisted though. It's still about promoting on the streets anyway. Because people think everyone's got a computer, but not everyone.
Not everyone does.
Everyone's got access more or less, but not everyone's got one at home. So it ain't the same thing.
Yeah.
So you know, it's still. I think you still got to penetrate the streets, and it's still there anyway. But now, you know, it's like a whole nother kind of. I don't know what to call it. There's a whole nother lane now that you got to walk down. You know what I mean? And you got to be prepared for what goes on there. So it's changed quite a bit. But I think as long as people kind of keep their ear to the ground and you know just keep learning what's new and what's happening, you could kind of get there in the end. You know what I mean? Like obviously the MySpaces, now everyone's on the MySpace, the Facebook and
Twittering,
fan of Twitter yourself. Natural born Twitters.
Natural born Twitters.
Yeah, you could hit me on. What is it? Twitter.com/Mystrogen. MYSTROGEN.
Little plug.
Yeah,
man.
We don't mind.
We don't mind.
But yeah, I mean, so you know, it's changed into this kind of world now. But I think it's just the case. People got to share the knowledge for one. That's one thing that was missing anyway in the UK is people, because everyone, no, I'm gonna be the one to make it.
No one wants
to share nothing. Yeah, and I've witnessed it firsthand. Like you know. That people holding back from people. I think we need to abolish that, get rid of that, because it ain't work for no one. And then on top of that, you know, really, you got to really just get into it, man. Like, unfortunately, the digital world is definitely taking over. So whether you like it or not, it's best that you. Otherwise, you're gonna be gone, man. You got to evolve with it. Otherwise,
other's you're gonna get left behind.
The bottom of the food chain. Man. You know what I mean?
It's a place you can't afford to be.
Natural selection could be a mother lover. You better start evolving. But yeah.
Nah, it's the truth, and especially seeing as that's the case, I think maybe that's the reason why there's all this animosity. Like, you know, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna get up there.
It's always been there, regardless. Like, I mean, you know, I think it's always gonna be there anyway, because as long as people can see, can, you know what I mean?
You know, as long as there's a market industry,
there's gonna
where
be
you can
jealousy.
do well.
There's gonna be competitive things going on or whatever.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying, like, you know, it's cool to just share that knowledge anyway. If you like regard your music as like you're not worried about other people regarding your music, like you know what you're doing is right and you know what you're doing can get you somewhere, then sharing the knowledge shouldn't be that much of a bother to you, innit? So
you know.
that's all. Like Charlie Sloth, man, give a shout out to Charlie Sloth because he's got his weekly episode every week.
Yeah.
And you know, like people might say this and that about he's as an artist or whatnot. But regardless, if you watch it, he's actually teaching you things that you could do for yourself as an artist as well. So that alone, and he's not, you know, I don't really see much people bigging him up for that.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of forgetting more. People would rather hate that he's getting 1 million hits every week. Or, you know what I mean? He's doing the right thing, innit?
Like, you know, people, too busy concentrating on what he's
the,
doing rather than what he's showing.
Yeah, exactly that. He's not saying, oh, look, this is what you do as an artist, blah, blah, blah. But he's showing you. And so as long as you take them notes and you learn, you know what I mean? You got to give someone respect for that.
Nah, it's the truth. It's the truth.
So yeah, I think, you know, more of that should happen anyway. Because there's a lot of people that have been a lot of places, but they don't seem to share.
You know, they've got valuable knowledge. That save, you know, they can save you sometimes. Save next people
exactly, man.
See you're saying. See what you're
Really.
saying. All right.
Shout out to Ty as well. We had a conversation about that, and Scandal, Beat Butcher, just basically saying, you know, like I think people have got it twisted that we're, you know, say like if I asked you how many different like artists you have in your collection of CDs, you're gonna tell me a bunch of different. You're not gonna be like, no, I've only got one artist, and that's the one artist that I listen to. So people got to get off of that thinking that, oh, well, if I big them up, man, then people they're gonna buy his album, but not my. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. You got a whole heap of selection in your yard, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Think logically,
it's
so
true.
You know.
You ain't gonna buy one CD in your whole lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. No one is, man. Like people like selection. We get bored. People get bored, so we like to listen to different things. You know.
So what does Mystro listen to, like in terms of hip hop, or maybe a little outside of
in terms of hip hop, who do I listen to? At the moment, I'm listening to Feeding Time at the Zoo. That's got a whole bunch of artists on there, man. It's pretty crazy.
We'll talk about that in a little piece.
Who else? I listen to Devin the Dude. You know,
lay back.
Sipping coffee while I'm listening to Devin the Dude.
Sipping coffee, okay.
Sipping coffee, mum. What else? Who else am I listening to? Black Einstein.
Okay.
Yeah, I listened to quite a bit of Black Einstein. Trying to think. I've been listening to that Eminem album, like that.
Oh, the Relapse.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of.
He's alright. Like, he's kind of back, but I'm not feeling the different voices.
Nah, yeah, the voices thing is kind of annoying, like, because you can't work out whether he's, you know, is he not comfortable with his own voice or is he?
Yeah, well, you know, I think that he's saying he was trying to stop people from getting bored, but you know, if the flows are there, the lyrics are there, which they seem to be, I wouldn't be bored of just listening, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. But lyrically, you know, this is the closest back to the kind of M that we all love.
The first two LPs.
Who else have I been? MF Doom's last album.
Born Like This.
Born Like This. Yeah, that's a nice album.
No, that's a nice album there.
I like that. Yeah, I like you used some of that Arthur Varakai some samples from his album as well.
Oh, okay,
There's a couple tunes on there, so I really like that. Who else is there? There's a few people, you know. I hate it when you go blank.
Yeah, you'll remember them later. But
I'm trying to think. There's one other album that I have been listening to quite a bit. The Blackout 2, man.
Oh, you see, I've listened to a couple tracks, but I haven't actually copped that yet. I've been
I got it. It's good.
I've been a little scared because you know the Blackout's a big album to try and follow up to.
Boy, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I don't think anyone really follows up to
their original work.
But it's still good, and it's kind of refreshing to hear some of the stuff they got on there. There's probably only one track that I wasn't sure about, but other than that, yeah, they're definitely, like, Meth is on fire.
Always.
Yeah, I haven't heard him rap like that for a while, boy, so, yeah, that was good. But, yeah, you know, other than that, a few other bits and bobs as well, man.